Okay, who are you?
Hi, I'm Adelaide.
I'm Jackson. I'm from Long Island, New York. I'm a philosophy and religion major.
My name's Jonah. I'm from Sandy Springs, Georgia. Independence 2005, and I am a history major.
What is Independence 2005? What does that mean?
We got our independence from Atlanta.
Okay. That's great.
Gentrification.
Okay, I need to log in.
Who are you?
I'm Nisha, and I'm a freshman at Emory.
Where are you from?
I'm from Mumbai, India.
And what are you studying?
I'm studying chemistry and English literature.
You have happy eyes.
Oh, that's actually so sweet.
You're so sweet. Appreciate that.
That's true.
You have a...
Okay, my name's Amelia. I'm a sophomore and I'm from Berkeley, California.
And what's your major?
My major is anthropology and international studies, double major.
Okay, do you have anything specifically you want me to say? I can do my own.
Well, like, what's your major?
Okay, I'm a history major.
Did you know you were gonna be a history major?
Yeah, when I came to Emory, I had never been to the campus before. I'd never been to Atlanta, but I did know I wanted to study history. So at least I had one thing figured out.
I'm Paige. My full name is Paige Scanlon. I am a senior, fourth-year student from Chicago, and I'm a religion and interdisciplinary studies major.
And can you tell me a little about your interdisciplinary studies?
Yes. So I think most people think like IDS is like, sorry, these pieces are just gonna be annoying, but most people think that like IDS is like you pick a couple disciplines and then you make your major out of it. But I understand it more as like a topic-based discipline. So I'm really interested in a group of Tibetan Buddhist nuns that study in North India. And so my questions like have always centered around like body, embodiment, self, identity, storytelling, narratives. So I wrote my thesis about that group of nuns and how care is like an alternative pedagogical tool to learning and understanding more about Buddhist tenets of compassion and wisdom. And I did field work with that in India and hung out with some nuns.
I feel like we should be closer to the camera so you can hear us.
I think.
Is that better?
What constitutes a humanities class? Like,
My favorite humanities class? I think one of my favorite classes that I took was with Dr. Brownlee, her contemporary women novelist class. We got to read Sally Rooney, and it was basically just a giant psychoanalysis of her characters. So super fun.
My favorite humanities class would have been Sages and Saints
that was a great
with
class.
Kevin and Corgan.
That was a great class.
My favorite humanities class is it was called Our Gods Never Left Us, and it was a religious studies cross-listed with African studies, and it basically talked about African religion across the diaspora. So it talked about Brazilian, like Candomblé. It talked about religion in like Africa, Yoruba, in Nigeria, and then it talked about religion in the Americas, United States. And we like kind of did like cross analysis of all of the religions and saw the similarities and saw how like different traditions and rituals like traveled, and it was really cool. And we got to read a lot of cool stuff. We got to do interviews with people for our final project, and the teacher was like one of the most passionate teachers I've ever had, so that was also cool.
Who is your teacher?
Her name was Dr. Daniels.
I would say one of my favorite classes that I've taken was with Dr. Rose Dighton Mohammed, who is a faculty member in the ILA, the Institute for Liberal Arts, and she taught a class called Muslim Women's Storytelling. And one of my favorite things about that class and just like her teaching in general is like how engaged it is and how experiential it is. Like she really takes students outside of the classroom and into the community. And for that class we did a lot and talked a lot about like Muslim women's identities and how the Muslim experience is not like, you know, a monolithic thing, but one thing that we did was we read a YA novel by a Muslim women writer, and we created a curriculum for like local schools, like local public schools, about that book and like how it could and should be taught in schools. So that was really exciting. It was super engaged, and like there were a ton of diverse perspectives within that class, and it was very discussion based and like seminar based, and I tend to prefer those kinds of classes.
Doing a literature class on modernist writing. So we studied Mrs. Dalloway, a Turkish novel called The Time Regulation Institute, and now we're doing an Indian novel called The God of Small Things. And the class has been super cool because our teacher is Turkish, and like especially when we were studying the Turkish novel, it was really fascinating because she would point out like things that like didn't translate, or things that the translator was translated wrong, and I found that super cool because we were getting like an insider's perspective in that.
My favorite class was either metaphysics and epistemology, which I took at Oxford with Kevin Anderson, who was my other go. He was a great teacher, or intro to fiction writing, which I also took at Oxford.
Oh, is this the interview?
Were you interviewed too?
I'm not a creative writing. I'm not humanities. Get the camera out of my face.
Yeah, we live together.
How's that?
Friends.
Oh man. You have this calming presence about you. So even when you're not speaking any words, which you rarely are.
Often, yeah. Often.
Let me say this. So, although I'm a history major, I'm an English minor, and in the past year I've taken several creative writing workshops, and I'm so grateful that I've had the space to like explore even within humanities. I think there's like a range of disciplines, and my poetry workshops have been some of my favorite classes because I've learned so much about myself, and even my history thesis has been an opportunity for me to learn more about the place I grew up, and I'm so grateful for a space to explore my identity with the support of other people who are passionate about similar things.
It's okay, I'm gonna pan away from Jackson. And what did you get?
I got highest honor.
And then Teaching to Transgress by Bell Hooks, not to be like the most inseparable liberal arts student ever, but it's a really good book. And I used it as part of my thesis and like framework because it talks a lot about this idea of engaged pedagogy, which is like a teaching model that like works to transform students and teachers and like break down hierarchical like modes of learning.
So I love it because yeah, the lyrics are, you should listen to it, Liz. I think you'll like it.
Okay, I will. Thank you, Nisha. You wanna say bye?
Bye.
But like, I'm happy I'm here. I'm very happy I'm here.
I'm happy you're here too. Okay, can you say bye?
Ciao.
Okay, can I have y'all say bye?
Bye.
Bye.
Is that
Bye.
Bye, thanks for watching.
If you had to rank all the people who live in your house,
Rank?
yeah.
Alright, so ranking all of them.
Are you gonna cut?
Yes, there's gonna be lots of cuts. This is
My
Bia.
favorite book that I've read recently is None because I haven't read in the last 2 years.
Okay, that's going in the credits.
more formal?
Is humanities a waste of time? Why not? Ooh.
What if I raise up the camera?
I mean, you already are.
Oh, you're recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
Modern Chinese history. What does that make you think? Well, it must be like 1600s. Modern, I mean 1800s? Maybe today. Wrong. China is so freaking old
China's just
that
so
modern
old.
Chinese history starts in the 1300s. Dude, give me a break. That's insane.